welcome back to the channel. Rare Coins all world. If you're new here, be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notifications because today we're diving deep into the world of rare and valuable coins. Now, you may think that coins like the 5-cent nickel are just your average pocket change, but what if I told you that some of these seemingly ordinary coins can be worth a small fortune? In today's video, we're talking about the 2004 United States 5-cent coin, also known as the nickel, and trust me, there are certain versions of this coin that have sent collectors into a frenzy. If you've got a 2004 nickel lying around, stick with us, because by the end of this video, you'll be amazed at just how much that little 5-cent coin could actually be worth. Let's dive into it. Before we get into the juicy details of why the 2004 nickel could be worth a fortune, let's take a quick look at its history and design. The US 5-cent coin, or nickel, has been in circulation since 1866, and it's gone through several design changes over the years. The 2004 nickel is part of a unique series that marked a change in the US mint's design. In 2004, the Jefferson nickel underwent a redesign as part of a commemorative series to honor the Louisiana Purchase and the westward expansion. On the obverse of the 2004 nickel, you'll see the familiar portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States. Jefferson has been on the nickel since 1938, and this design is based on an earlier portrait by John Reich. Jefferson is one of America's founding fathers, and his image on the nickel is a tribute to his leadership and vision for the country, but it's on the reverse, back, side where things get interesting. In 2004, the U.S. Mint introduced a new design that depicted Jefferson's home, Monticello, which was a beautiful and iconic symbol of the American frontier. This new reverse design was part of a special set of coins released to commemorate the Louisiana Purchase and the Lewis and Clark expedition. And while the nickel might seem like a simple coin, there are specific versions that could be worth far more than you think. You might be thinking, it's just a nickel, right? How could it be worth anything more than 5 cents? Well, that's where you'd be wrong, because rarity, condition, and minting errors are what make certain 2004 nickels incredibly valuable to collectors. When it comes to coin collecting, it's not just about the design or the year, it's about those special features that make a coin unique. Even a simple 5-cent piece can become a hidden treasure if it has certain rare qualities. Let's explore what to look for in a 2004 nickel that could potentially fetch you a small fortune. Like most US coins, the 2004 nickel has a mint mark that indicates where it was produced. In 2004, nickels were minted at both the Denver Mint, denoted by the letter D, and the Philadelphia Mint, which typically doesn't use a mint mark. Both of these mint marks are common, but it's the rarity of the coin and its condition that could make it valuable. However, what really sets the 2004 nickel apart are the errors that occurred during the minting process. Yes, you heard that right, minting errors can make even a simple nickel worth far more than face value. Let's talk about a few of the key errors to look out for. Double die obverse, DDO, errors. A double die obverse error occurs when a coin is struck multiple times by the die, leading to doubling of the design on the obverse. This error can be seen in Jefferson's portrait or in the wording around the edge of the coin, like Liberty or the date. If you find a 2004 nickel with noticeable doubled features, it could be worth significantly more than face value, and collectors will pay top dollar for these errors. Off-center strikes. Another rare error that can occur during the minting process is an off-center strike. This happens when the coin is struck at an angle or misaligned, causing part of the design to be cut off or misshaped. An off-center 2004 nickel can make for a unique and valuable piece in any collection. These types of coins are often prized because they're one of a kind, and can easily fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars at auction. Die cracks or die chips. Sometimes, a crack or chip forms on the die, the metal stamp used to imprint the design on the coin, which transfers onto the coin during the striking process. A 2004 nickel with visible die cracks or die chips in the design can be highly desirable, especially if it's a clear and well-defined error. These coins are rare, and collectors are always on the lookout for them. Clashed dies. A clashed die occurs when the obverse and reverse dies collide during the minting process without a planchet, coin blank, in between. This results in part of the reverse design being imprinted onto the obverse. If you find a 2004 nickel with a clashed die, you're looking at a valuable error that could easily increase the worth of the coin. When it comes to coin collecting, condition is everything. Even if you find a 2004 nickel with a minting error, its value could be greatly diminished if the coin is in poor condition. Coins that have been heavily circulated or are worn down won't fetch the high prices that pristine, uncirculated coins will. The value of a coin is often determined by its grade, which is based on its physical condition. A coin that is graded as MS65 or higher, meaning it has minimal wear, scratches, or damage, is far more valuable than one that's been heavily circulated. So, if you find a 2004 nickel that looks new and shows no signs of wear, you could be holding onto a hidden gem.So. You're probably wondering, how much could a 2004 nickel be worth? While most 2004 nickels are worth their face value of 5 cents, a rare minting error or well-preserved specimen can increase the value significantly. For example, a 2004 nickel with a double die error or an off-center strike can easily command a few $100s at auction. However, if your 2004 nickel is in mint condition or has one of those rare, coveted errors, it could be worth a small fortune. Here's the jaw-dropping revelation: a 2004 nickel in perfect condition with a significant minting error has been known to sell for as much as $35,000, that's right, $35,000 for a single 5-cent nickel. It's mind-blowing, right? That's the power of rarity and condition in the world of coin collecting. You just never know what you might find in your spare change, so there you have it. The 2004 United States 5-cent nickel may seem like just another coin in circulation, but with the right error or in pristine condition, it could be worth an incredible amount of money. Whether it's a double die error, an off-center strike, or just a flawless example, the 2004 nickel could be hiding in plain sight, ready to make you a small fortune. Make sure to check your pockets, look through your spare change, and don't overlook those everyday coins, because you might just have a rare treasure on your hands. Today, in this video, we're going to take a deep dive into a coin that might just be hiding in your spare change and could be worth far more than you think. You might have seen a 1999 5-cent coin, also known as a nickel, and thought it was just another ordinary nickel, right? Well, think again. This small, seemingly insignificant coin has the potential to be worth a small fortune, thanks to a few key features and minting errors that make it highly sought after by collectors. By the end of this video, you'll be amazed at just how much this little coin could actually be worth. Stick around, because you won't want to miss the big reveal at the end. Let's start with a bit of background. The 1999 5-cent coin is part of the iconic Jefferson nickel series. The Jefferson nickel has been in circulation since 1938, and since then, it's undergone several redesigns. However, the 1999 nickel is part of a special group because of the unique events that occurred that year in the world of U.S. coinage. In 1999, the U.S. Mint began to release coins as part of its state quarters program, which commemorated the 50 states of the U.S. While the quarters were the highlight of the series, the nickel, along with the rest of the country's coins, still carried the legacy of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse side, a design that had been in place since 1938. The 1999 Jefferson nickel was made with the same familiar design on the front: Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States, surrounded by the inscriptions Liberty and 1999. On the reverse, the Monticello building, a symbol of Jefferson's estate in Virginia, is featured, but it's not the design that makes the 1999 nickel so valuable. It's what's hidden beneath the surface that collectors are really after. While most 1999 nickels are worth just their face value of 5 cents, there are certain rarities and minting errors that can make this otherwise ordinary coin worth a lot more. Let's break down what makes a 1999 nickel so special and potentially extremely valuable. Minting errors. The key to value. Like most coins, the 1999 nickel was struck by a die at the U.S. Mint. However, sometimes during the minting process, errors occur. And these errors are exactly what collectors are obsessed with, because they make the coins incredibly rare and valuable. there are a few different types of minting errors that can make the 1999 nickel worth significantly more than 5 cents. Double die obverse. DDO. A double die obverse error occurs when the coin is struck multiple times by the die, leading to a doubled image on the front of the coin. In the case of the 1999 nickel, you might notice doubling in the date, 1999, or the word liberty. If you find a nickel that has doubled features like this, it's a huge find for collectors, and its value can skyrocket. Off-center strikes. An off-center strike occurs when the coin is not properly aligned in the minting press, leading to part of the design being cut off or misaligned. This error can be extremely valuable to collectors because it makes the coin unique, and they're always in high demand. Die cracks and die chips. A die crack happens when a crack forms in the die used to stamp the design onto the coin. This crack transfers onto the coin itself. You might find small cracks or chips in the design, such as around Thomas Jefferson's portrait or in the word liberty. These types of die errors can add uniqueness to the coin and increase its desirability. Clashed dies. A clashed die occurs when the obverse die, the one with Jefferson's portrait, and the reverse die, the one with Monticello, collide, leaving parts of the reverse design on the obverse of the coin. If you find a 1999 nickel with reverse designs on the front, it's a clashed die error, and it could be worth a lot of money. Condition is key. In addition to finding a minting error, the condition of the coin is critical in determining its value. The more well-preserved the coin is, the higher the potential value. For example, a 1999 nickel that is in perfect, uncirculated condition will fetch a far higher price than a coin that has been heavily circulated and worn down. Coins are graded on a scale from poor to MS 70, mint state 70, which is perfect. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin becomes. So, if you've got a 1999 nickel that looks like it just came off the minting press, it could be worth much more than its face value, especially if it has a rare error. How do you know if your 1999 nickel is one of these rare treasures? Here's what to look for. Check the mint mark. The mint mark on the 1999 nickel will either be AD for Denver or it might have no mint mark if it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. Pay attention to any variations or errors in the mint mark. It could be a sign of a rare coin. Examine the date and liberty. Look closely at the date, 1999, and the word liberty for any signs of doubling. If you notice that the letters look doubled or blurry, you could have a double die error on your hands. Look for off-center strikes. Hold the coin at different angles and look for misalignment in the design. If part of the coin's design is cut off or shifted, you could have an off-center strike, which is a valuable error. Inspect for die cracks or die chips. Look for any cracks or chips in the design. These subtle errors can make a coin more desirable to collectors. Get your coin graded. If you think you have a valuable 1999 nickel, the best way to know for sure is to get it graded by a professional. A certified grading service will assess the coin's authenticity, condition, and rarity, and provide a grade that can increase the coin's market value. So, how much can a 1999 nickel be worth? Well, if your 1999 nickel is in mint condition and has one of the rare minting errors we've talked about, such as a double die error, an off-center strike, or a clashed die, it could be worth a lot more than its 5-cent face value. Coins like these can be auctioned for thousands of dollars depending on their rarity and condition. But here's the big reveal: if you have a 1999 nickel with the right error, it could be worth $39,000. Yes, you heard that right, $39,000 for a single 1999 nickel. That's a huge payout for a coin that you might have thought was just another pocket change. So if you find a 1999 nickel with double die errors, off-center strikes, or any other rare minting flaw, hold on tight, because you could be holding on to a small fortune. There you have it. 1999 nickels may seem like just ordinary coins, but with the right minting error or in perfect condition, they can be worth a small fortune. So the next time you come across a 1999 nickel, make sure to take a closer look. It could be worth more than you ever imagined. Today we're going to talk about one such coin, the 1981 5-cent piece, also known as the Jefferson nickel. This coin, which many people probably passed by without a second thought, could be hiding a surprising value. especially if you know where to look. In this video, we'll break down the fascinating history, design, and the reasons why this particular 1981 5-cent coin could be worth far more than just 5 cents. Stick around till the end because we'll reveal just how much this coin could be worth if you're lucky enough to have one in your collection. Let's set the stage for the 1981 Jefferson nickel. In 1981, the United States was experiencing a transformative moment in history. It was the first year of Ronald Reagan's presidency, a time when the country was shifting economically with tax cuts, deregulation, and an emphasis on a free market economy. It was also a time of rising inflation and the beginning of a new era in American politics. In terms of coinage, the Jefferson nickel had been in circulation since 1938, and in 1981, it was still following the design set by Felix Schlag. On one side, you had Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States and the author of the Declaration of Independence. On the reverse side, you had his iconic Virginia estate, Monticello, a symbol of Jefferson's legacy. But beyond its basic design, there's a particular feature of the 1981 5-cent coin that would ultimately make it one of the more interesting and valuable pieces for collectors. Now, let's talk about the design of the 1981 Jefferson nickel, which remained very much in line with the original design introduced in 1938. On the obverse, you'll find a portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States. His dignified image is surrounded by the inscriptions, "Liberty, in God we trust," and the year of minting, 1981. On the reverse, we see Monticello, the neoclassical mansion that Jefferson designed and lived in, engraved in great detail. The reverse also reads, "E pluribus unum, out of many, one, United States of America," and the denomination of 5 cents. The design itself may seem familiar, but what makes this coin stand out in the eyes of collectors is something that's much more subtle, and it has to do with the mint mark. Here's the twist: the 1981 5-cent coin comes in several different mint marks, and the mint mark is the key to its value. If you look closely at the obverse of the coin, just below the word "Liberty," you'll see a small letter, which tells you where the coin was struck. The D mint mark represents the Denver Mint, while the P mint mark represents the Philadelphia Mint. But the coin we're focusing on today is the 1981 S 5-cent coin, which carries the S mint mark, indicating that it was minted at the San Francisco Mint. Here's the interesting part: San Francisco Mint coins from this time weren't meant to circulate as regular currency. The coins produced at the San Francisco Mint were supposed to be used exclusively for proof sets, which are special, high-quality coin sets made for collectors, not for everyday spending. But here's where it gets exciting: some of these 1981 S Jefferson nickels made their way into general circulation. And this is where the real value starts to come into play. As with many other minting mishaps, these rare 1981 S Jefferson nickels that found their way into circulation are incredibly hard to find. These coins were not meant to be out there in wallets or change jars. They were produced in limited quantities and intended for the collector market only. That means, any 1981 S Jefferson nickel you find in your pocket change is rare, but what makes the coin even more valuable is its condition. Like any other collectible, the value of this nickel depends on how well it's been preserved. If you find a 1981 S 5-cent coin in pristine, uncirculated condition, you're looking at something that could be worth much more than its face value. Condition plays a huge role in determining the value of any coin, and the 1981 S Jefferson nickel is no exception. If the coin has been heavily circulated, it will likely have scratches, discoloration, and wear, all of which will decrease its value. But if you happen to have an uncirculated 1981 S nickel, meaning it has never been used in daily transactions and still looks as fresh as it did when it left the mint, then we're talking about a significantly higher value. Mint state coins are graded on a scale from MS60 to MS70, with MS70 being the highest grade for perfect coins. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin. A 1981 S Jefferson nickel that has been graded at MS65 or higher can already command a premium price. But, as with any rare coin, the rarer the condition, the greater the value. What's even more exciting is that error coins, those that were struck incorrectly, can dramatically increase a coin's value. A 1981 5-cent coin with any minting errors, such as off-center strikes, double strikes, or die cracks, could be worth far more than a typical uncirculated example. Collectors love error coins because they are unique, and because of the mistake in the minting process, they often have a charm that regular coins don't. These types of coins are highly sought after by numismatists, and finding one could mean a serious windfall for the lucky owner. So, here it is. How much could a 1981 5-cent coin be worth, if you have one in pristine condition, or, even better, one with a rare minting error? You're looking at a staggering price. The value of a perfect 1981 Jefferson nickel can reach up to $59,000, yes, you heard that right, $59,000 for a single nickel. It's amazing to think that a simple coin from the 1980s could be worth such a jaw-dropping amount of money today. So, the next time you're going through your change or cleaning out an old jar of coins, be sure to take a second look at any 1981 Jefferson nickels you find. It could be worth more than just 5 cents, it might just be worth a small fortune, and that wraps up today's deep dive into the 1981 5-cent coin. Who knew that a simple nickel could be worth so much? If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare and valuable coins, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and click the notification bell so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching, and happy collecting. Today, we're going to explore the 1957 5-cent coin, yes, the classic Jefferson nickel, and why this particular coin with a special mint mark could be worth a small fortune. If you think all nickels are just worth 5 cents, you might want to think again, because the value of this coin could completely change your perspective on pocket change. Stick around until the end of the video, because we'll be revealing just how much the 1957 5-cent coin could be worth today. Trust me, it's not as small as the coin itself. Before we jump into the details of the coin itself, let's take a quick trip back to 1957 and see what was happening in the world. The 1950s were a period of post-World War II prosperity in the United States. The country was experiencing an economic boom, with a growing middle class, the rise of consumer culture, and the expansion of suburban life. This was also a time when American pop culture was shifting, with the birth of rock and roll, the rise of television, and major innovations in technology. In terms of coinage, the Jefferson nickel had been in circulation since 1938, replacing the old Buffalo nickel. Designed by artist Felix Schlag, the Jefferson nickel depicted the third U.S. president, Thomas Jefferson, on the obverse, with his home, Monticello, featured on the reverse. The 1950s saw a relatively stable minting of these coins, but a small number of 1,957 5-cent coins with specific mint marks are incredibly rare, and that's where the excitement begins. Let's take a closer look at the design of the 1957 Jefferson nickel. On the obverse, you'll find a portrait of Thomas Jefferson, a founding father, the author of the Declaration of Independence, and the man behind the Louisiana Purchase. Jefferson's dignified image is surrounded by the inscriptions "Liberty" and "In God We Trust," along with the mint year, 1957. On the reverse, we see a detailed depiction of Jefferson's home, Monticello, in Virginia. Monticello was not only Jefferson's home but also a symbol of his vision of democracy and education. Surrounding the image of Monticello are the words, E pluribus unum, out of many, one, and United States of America, with the denomination 5 cents, clearly marked. Now, this design was consistent throughout the 1950s, but there's one crucial element that could make a 1957 nickel stand out from the rest: the mint mark. The mint mark is a small letter on the coin that indicates where it was minted. Most coins from the 1950s had mint marks of either AD for Denver, or AP for Philadelphia. But what makes the 1957 5-cent coin special is that there were also coins minted at the San Francisco Mint, marked with an S. Now, here's where it gets interesting. The 1957 Jefferson nickel isn't rare in terms of the number minted. It was produced in large quantities. However, due to a mix-up in the minting process, San Francisco Mint coins were not supposed to be released into regular circulation. Instead, they were supposed to be included only in proof sets, special sets of coins made for collectors and not meant for everyday use, but some of these 1957's coins slipped into circulation. Over time, they became more difficult to find, especially in good condition. This is where the value of this nickel starts to skyrocket. Like with any collectible, condition is everything. A coin that's been in circulation for decades is likely to show wear, scratches, discoloration, and general signs of use. But when it comes to rare coins, like the 1957's Jefferson nickel, finding one in uncirculated or mint state condition is key to unlocking its true value. An uncirculated coin means it hasn't been used in regular transactions and looks almost as good as the day it was minted. Coins in mint state can grade from MS60 to MS70, the highest possible grade. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin, and here's the kicker: the 1957's Jefferson nickel in near-perfect condition, especially in grades of MS65 or higher, can be worth a lot more than its face value. But that's not all. Certain errors and unique variants can also boost its value significantly. Now, any collectors here know that mint errors are some of the most sought-after coins in the world. A minting error happens when a mistake is made during the coin's production process. This could be something like a double strike, off-center strike, or even die cracks, and these mistakes can make a coin one of a kind. If you have a 1957's Jefferson nickel with a mint error, you might be holding on to something truly special. Coins with such errors can skyrocket in value, making them far more valuable than a standard uncirculated coin. For example, a 1957's nickel with a double die error, where the image is faintly repeated, can fetch a significant premium from collectors who are looking for unique and rare pieces. Now, let's get to the part you've all been waiting for. Just how much is the 1957's 5-cent coin worth? Well, if you happen to have one of these coins in pristine uncirculated condition, especially with a rare minting error or in a high-grade state, you could be looking at a value that far exceeds its humble origins. A well-preserved 1957's Jefferson nickel, without any errors, could still fetch anywhere from $100 to $500, depending on its condition. But the true value of this coin shines when you start talking about perfect condition or error variants. The 1957's Jefferson nickel, in pristine, uncirculated condition, has been known to sell for as much as $56,000. Yes, that's right, $56,000 for a coin that was once just a nickel. It's incredible to think that a simple piece of currency, which spent decades in circulation, could end up being worth a small fortune today. So, if you happen to find a 1957's Jefferson nickel while going through your change or rummaging through old collections, make sure to check its condition. You might have a hidden treasure on your hands. And that's it for today's video. Who would have thought that a simple nickel from 1957 could be worth so much? Today's video is for you. We're going to take a deep dive into one of the most intriguing coins to come out of the United States, the 1995-cent coin with a particular mint mark. This little nickel has a story to tell, and the price it could fetch might just blow your mind. Stick around, because we'll reveal its value at the end. Trust us, you won't want to miss it. Before we get into the details of this 1995-cent coin, let's set the stage. The year 1990 was an interesting time for the United States. The country was in the midst of a transforming economy, shifting from the booming 1980s to a more cautious 1990s era. It was a time of economic uncertainty, with rising debt and the looming 1991 recession, but it was also a period of technological growth and cultural shifts for coin collectors. The 1990s were an important decade because it marked the tail end of the series of designs that had been circulating in the US for decades. Among these designs was the iconic Jefferson nickel, which had been minted since 1938. It's this coin, the 1995-cent piece, that we're focusing on today. Now, let's take a closer look at the design of the 1995-cent coin. The design of the Jefferson nickel, created by artist Felix Schlag, has remained largely unchanged since 1938, with only minor adjustments over the years. On the obverse, you'll find a portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States, who is known for authoring the Declaration of Independence and leading the country through the early years of the Republic. The inscription around his image reads, Liberty, and the year, 1990, which serves as a reminder of the coin's minting year. On the reverse, we see a depiction of Jefferson's home, Monticello, a design that's been a hallmark of the Jefferson nickel since its inception. The words, e pluribus unum, out of many, one, and United States of America, are inscribed around the image, along with the denomination, 5 cents. However, while the design itself might not be particularly rare or groundbreaking, the true value of the 1995 cent coin lies in something else entirely: its mint mark and the unique circumstances of its production. So, what makes the 1995 cent coin special? Well, it all comes down to a small detail you'll find on the coin: its mint mark. If you look closely at the obverse, the side with Jefferson's portrait, you'll see a small letter beneath the word Liberty, which indicates where the coin was minted. For most of the 1995 cent coins, this mint mark would either be a D, for Denver, or a P, for Philadelphia. However, what some collectors didn't realize at the time is that a small number of coins were produced with AS mint mark, indicating they were minted at the San Francisco Mint. These coins weren't intended to be released into circulation. In fact, they were supposed to be used for proof sets only, which are coins made specifically for collectors and not meant for general use. But somehow, a few of these special 1990 5 cent coins found their way into circulation. Because they were never meant to be in everyday wallets and pockets, these coins are exceptionally rare, making them incredibly valuable. The fact that they were mixed in with regular circulation coins means that finding one in good condition is a true rarity. When it comes to collecting rare coins, the condition of the coin is crucial. Coins that are in uncirculated or mint state condition can fetch much higher prices than those that have been used extensively in daily transactions. A typical 1995 cent coin in average circulated condition will only be worth a few cents, but if you're fortunate enough to find an uncirculated 1990 nickel, then you're looking at something much more valuable. The 1990 5 cent coin, if found in perfect, pristine condition, can command a premium price in the market. But there's one more thing that can really drive up the value. Now, for all you seasoned collectors out there, you'll be particularly interested in the potential for minting errors. Minting errors are common in the world of numismatics, and some of the rarest coins are those with unusual mistakes, like double strikes, off-center coins, or misaligned dies. A 1990 5 cent coin with any kind of minting error could be worth significantly more than a regular one. Error coins are highly sought after because they are completely unique. If you happen to find one of these error variants, you could have a one-of-a-kind coin on your hands, which means a much higher value than a standard piece. Now, for the moment you've all been waiting for: just how much could this 1990 5 cent coin be worth if you happen to find one in excellent condition, or better yet, one with a minting error? The value of a 1990 5 cent coin in uncirculated condition can range significantly depending on the exact grade and condition. But for a coin that is in perfect condition, especially one with rare minting errors, the price can go up to an astonishing $52,000. Yes, you heard that correctly, $52,000 for a single 1990 5 cent coin. It's incredible to think that a simple nickel, once passed around in everyday transactions, could be worth such a fortune today. So, if you happen to have one of these rare coins sitting in your collection, or if you spot one while going through your change, be sure to take a close look. It could make you a small fortune. And that's it for today's video. Who would have thought a 1995 cent coin could be worth such an incredible amount?